Hey, cool. We're live. So we're gonna do test one, two, three. So Ed, do you see me?
I do see you.
Do you see yourself?
I don't see myself. I can see myself in the corner, but
Okay. So as long as I think it is, let's see here. I think it's gonna turn on the camera and let's see here. I think it's supposed to load up here, but this is our first hangout, guys. With this is a deal with Nevada IT Solutions and Eduardo with Nevada IT Solutions as well. So here we're just going to do a series of videos or hangouts for you guys to talk about our business and talk about the benefits of having managed IT services and the whole series. So we're going to have a lot of videos. That's going to talk about in IT, the geeky stuff that stresses a lot of people. That's something that we do and we love and we're very passionate about. So therefore, we're going to try to have a series of lessons, I would say, or tips and tricks, hacks, lead us the greatest, the entire thing to look for in the tech industry. So, right, Ed?
that we are.
Yeah. So I think the first thing we're going to do is just going to introduce ourselves really quick. So I'll start with you, Ed, and if you want to tell us who you are and what you're passionate about, and then how do you get into the IT space?
Well, my name is Eduardo. I've been in IT for 12 or so years. I started out in the medical field and got a passion for making other people's things work so they can do their job. I really enjoyed working in the medical field when I did, but it just wasn't where my passion lay. And so now I'm here and I want to help other people make sure that they can provide that patient care and quality of service to their clients and their patients.
Super. Yeah. So that's awesome. Thanks, Ed. So my name is Adil, and I am super passionate about IT. I've been doing it for a long time too, not as long as Ed, but I got into school. I'm in the computer science world and then information systems world. Now I'm kind of moving into the business side of things, kind of try to grow that side of business and then try to add value to the customers. And I used to work for a company called IGT, which is International Game Technology, which does a lot of gaming stuff. And then afterwards, I moved to Microsoft, where I got exposed to the whole consulting world. And I was in solution delivery, which basically bridging the gap between business and tech or engineers. So we wear multiple hats, which is super beneficial in our industry here because we could talk the talk in both sides, business and technology. So you don't have that person who just talks all these crazy things and you're like, holy cow, what are you talking about? So definitely something that's, I feel like it's a skill that's lacking right now, but we got that covered here, with myself and Eduardo and the rest of our team. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to share a screen here. We'll just, the very first hangout we're doing here is we're going to talk about the benefits or the key benefits of having managed IT services versus fixed break fix model. So there are two different models right now. And as somebody who used to work for Microsoft, we actually, as Microsoft being one of the biggest companies on the planet, IT company, they have their IT services all outsourced to a third party. So you would wonder, like, well, how is a company that big and that large that outsource their IT? Well, basically it comes down to it was not their core. Their core is developing apps or software for people, but their core is not to do help desk stuff. Their core is not to maintain the networks. Their core is not doing backup. Their core wasn't, although they create solutions for that, but they let other professionals use it for them. So I saw that model growing. That's kind of what inspired me to kind of jump on this wagon, myself and Eduardo, so we could, be one of the early adopters too, because this is something that's growing. And managed IT services or managed services in general is not a term that's new. Maybe it's new in the last 10 years, but it is something that been, so let's say your banking is an outsourced service. Your HR as well is an outsourced service. It's what's the other sector? CPA. So if you're using an accountant, that's actually you're doing he's a manager, he or she our managed service providers. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. So it's not just IT, it's anything you outsource your core business, that business to someone else while you're focused on your core. So we put on a slide here. We're just going to go through it really quick, talk about some key benefits, talk about the reason why you should choose to go in the managed IT service with managed IT service provider versus trying to do the break fix or reactive, like we call it, because it is a reactive approach to things. So you wait until the disaster happens, then you react to it. So we've seen that a lot, and then we feel like sometimes that's kind of what drives our business right now is the reactive stuff. I see Eduardo smiling there, which is true. Yeah. So let me share my screen here really quick, and we're just going to go to this deck here, right? So we'll just quick overview about Nevada IT Solutions. It's a locally owned company in the Reno Tahoe region. So right now we're starting to expand down in the Las Vegas region. We got certified technicians and staff with combined experience of over 20 years in IT field. We specialize in the small and mid-sized businesses. So and then we got deep understanding for IT networks, HIPAA compliance, IT infrastructure, systemization and automation of your business, cloud services. I mean, you name it. So a lot of our, we're not your traditional IT company. So we have under our umbrella, we got a lot of expertise. And our motto is to just become part of your business. I mean, at the end of the day, all we want to do is be part of your business and help you grow. So on your growth will correlate with our growth too. So as you grow, we'll grow. And then so that's kind of what how we approach things. And our slogan is IT simplified. We had multiple slogans in the past few years, and now we've just made it simple. It's like, well, it's IT simplified. So now, basically, what we provide is managed IT services, in-house staff, staff augmentation, outsource IT, and CIO services, which is super, super popular and critical right now if you are not aware of it. Okay. Right now, Matt, what is managed IT services? So managed IT services is are the proactive management of an IT asset or an object by a third party on behalf of a customer, just like outsourcing your accounting to CPA firm and HR, third party provider. So basically, that's what I stated earlier. So you manage that business line or that line of business to a professional who their core is just that. If it's an accountant, you can't wear multiple hats, but you can't do better than an accountant. So the accountant is somebody that's specialized in that space. So you outsource your accounting to that person. So that's kind of what managed IT service. So we'll breeze through this one so we don't bore you guys with. And in the model of managed IT services, what does it include? CIO. So you get a chief information officer in your company of a fraction of a cost of hiring somebody to do that. So we proactively manage and monitor all the devices in the network. We get alerts for critical services. We security, the whole 9 yards. Same thing. We do patching. So we patch software, operating system from servers to desktops to laptops to you name it. Asset management. We have software that tracks the asset, your assets, and then kind of basically tracks it for you, brings out all the analytics. Is it expiring? Is it lost somewhere? What kind of software are you running? So we had an example, which a client had multiple licenses of Windows that were not used or Office. So we've seen that a lot. Same thing with company that is short, which if they get audited, they're screwed, right?
Yep, that's big fines.
Yeah, big fines there. So definitely the asset management side of it is huge. So help desk technicians and remote connectivity for issue resolution. So basically we deploy agents on a lot of machines, and then we monitor that and we do things remotely. Application support, you name it, password resets, upgrades, etc. Antivirus and malware protection, software and management. I mean, that's very self-explanatory. Proactive management, data backup, and provide recovery services. which is huge. That's part of your business continuity and disaster recovery. So that's a big one right there. And now with bring your own device to work and vice versa, we do MDM management for mobile devices. So whether it's a laptop, an iPad, an iPhone, and a Droid, you name it. So that's kind of what we do. The program or the way it works is just works with so for monitoring and alerting. Those agents are super smart. They completely scan the system and on top of it 24/7. So you get the real-time alerting as we're going. Here as you look into, I think we already talked about this here. So asset management, same thing. Automated network scanning and asset discovery tracking, asset inventory and warranty management. The whole thing that you want to know about your assets and tracking it from a warranty standpoint to where is my device, what is it what is its geolocation right now. You can actually track that. Same thing, security. As you know now, definitely the whole ransomware is something that's been growing like crazy, and Mac computers are not exempt from that. So a lot of people are talking about the whole Macs don't get viruses, which is, I think it's not true. What do you think?
There's a lot of myths out there, and that's probably worth another video in all of itself.
Yes, I totally agree. We should definitely do that. Same thing here with HIPAA compliance, PCI compliance, and all that. So a lot of medical offices, the whole HIPAA space just gone by so quick. People still struggle with Windows XP right now. Until nowadays, since 2016, April the 16th, I think, we still see machines with Windows XP, which is a big no-no when it comes to HIPAA. So definitely another, one thing we do is preventative maintenance. So at the end of the day, think of it this way: your car will break down no matter what. But it just when it's going to break down and but if you are taking care of it constantly, doing your regular maintenance, doing your regular tune-ups and checkups and all that, you're definitely delaying that breakage, or you're expecting it. So definitely something that you're minimizing. Same thing with your body. Same thing. If you take care of your body, take care of the entire thing, you're preventing yourself from getting sick. So that's kind of what we do with the entire in the tech side of it. Reporting, as you would do the services here, you definitely get reports that's gonna be sent out to you. Whatever. If you want to be annoyed every day, we can send you reports every day. Most of our clients decide like the monthly or the quarterly meetings or reports. So because they don't want to know the tiny little thing. As long as their stuff is working, they're fine. And then business reviews. So every quarter we just sit down, talk about what happened last quarter. How can we mitigate whatever? Talk about strategy. Talk about the entire thing. Same thing with short-term, long-term planning for if you're trying to acquire new software, hardware. Want to add a piece of add another server, or you want to review your current infrastructure. If you want to take that to the next level. Industries we are helping currently are medical offices, dentist offices, law offices, retail stores, banking, insurance offices, and trades. So those are kind of where like any company that has computers that are actually a candidate for us to be our clients. But lately we've been kind of moving into the directions of medical offices and dentist offices, just because of the entire need that's out there. Since there's a lot of compliance, and we spend a lot of time and effort to learn about compliance. So therefore, we're trying to focus on these here. Doesn't mean we don't work with others. We definitely do. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits, or the key benefits of managed IT services. So, Eduardo, do you want to kick one up right there?
Sure thing. So low upfront costs, predictable monthly costs. You have our model is based on the number of machines you have. So you know what your costs are going to be, and you have a set number of hours per month to do work on those machines, with extra to perform little things as they come up. Whereas with break fix, 1 month you may have no IT expenditures, and then the next month you may have 10, 20, 30 hours due to a disaster occurring. Next, your operational budget versus your capital budget. Adil, I'll let you hit on that one here in a second. But we look at your systems, we make sure that we apply all the best practices so that way you are compliant in every way that you need to be, and that everything's running smoothly. We're certified and we're partners with other leading tech firms. We've got a lot of partners that provide other services for us, software and whatnot, that helps us do our jobs more efficiently so that we can make sure that we mitigate your downtime. Faster resolution of issues. If we know that something's going to happen, or on those tools that we have installed in the machines, those agents, we get notifications that there are certain things that are performing outside of spec. And so if we see that those things are occurring, we can alert you and give you an idea, that maybe a hard drive's going to be failing soon because it's sending out some alerts that seem like that might be the case. And so since we know that these things are occurring, it's not a surprise. We can plan ahead, and that really mitigates your downtime, which brings us to that less issues, less downtime. We really do our best to mitigate that downtime for our clients, which ultimately gives you the opportunity to focus on your business. You don't need to be paying attention, or worrying, I should say, about whether or not your computers are turning on. You should be worrying about doing your business and utilizing your computer to perform the job that you need to do with it.
Yeah, no, spot on. Because a lot of people, they try to wear multiple hats. If I'm a construction company or a construction person, why do I need to go and focus on my best time is good when dedicated to do construction, or to do accounting, or to do whatever I'm good at. If I'm going to take time to go and learn another trade and then kind of do a crappy job, I mean, you could probably get lucky and do something, and wing it. But at the end of the day, you're not certified, you're not skilled enough. Therefore, which is super interesting when it comes to tech. A lot of people will jump into it. Like, they won't jump in and do heating and air conditioning type of stuff, or or plumbing or whatever. But when it comes to IT, they will jump on it. I don't know. Have you seen it?
Everybody's got a cousin or a brother or a child, a cousin's son, something or other, that knows something about IT. The number of times I hear from clients that, well, my nephew was doing it, or my cousin was doing it, my brother, whatever. We hear it all the time. And for a very small business that's just starting up, that might be good enough to get by. But when you get to the point where you really need to focus on your business, you need to let somebody who that's their job do that for you. You wouldn't go to your mechanic and watch over your mechanic and tell him, oh, no, you're using the wrong size socket for that, for that job. You let the mechanic do what they do, because that's their area of expertise.
Yeah.
And so is it a good use of resources for the CEO of a company to be cleaning toilets? Not really. And not to say that IT is similar to cleaning toilets, but it's the same concept. The right tool for the right job.
Yep. Totally. And then that's what we're trying to educate our customers or clients when it comes to manage IT services. Say, hey, you focus on your plumbing, you focus on your accounting, you focus on your banking. Let us focus on what we do best, and focus on what you do best, because you make money when you're doing what you do best, and we make money when we do what we do best, and we add value to each other. So we add value to a business when it comes to that. So that's something definitely I would consider when you try to look for a managed IT service, or if you're trying to go with this approach. So, and then when we talk about a fixed cost, I mean, we're talking about if you're paying $500 or $800 a month, you're already budgeting for it. So you know that each month your IT cost is going to be, say, $500 a month. It's in your budget, it's in your operation budget, and it's there. It's not going to fluctuate unless there is some major thing, which sometimes we do not see, we do not predict. But when you are winging it, for instance, and you do not use this proactive approach, 1 month you could probably end up with a lot of money, knowing the fact that companies charge between $130 and $160 an hour, and most of the issues take longer than an hour. So when we talk about downtime, we don't talk about, it's the time that you're losing, it's the opportunity cost, the money that you are missing out on making, and then your employees are sitting there hanging out, not doing anything, your business suffering, your customer satisfaction is getting lowered. So there's a lot of things that affect it. And downtime doesn't mean your computer is down and having a slow and optimized network is actually considered downtime. If you're trying to you print a document and it takes a minute for it to load a print, and we're talking about add those minutes across the whole month and see how many minutes is that. I bet you it's going to be like 60 minutes. That's an hour. That's an hour that you're losing. So when we talk downtime, we don't talk about just when I'm down completely. No, we're talking about why are my applications are running slow? Why am I noticing just some serious lag trying to log into something? I mean, if it's not an internet issue, so let's say you're trying to log into one of the cloud applications and your machine is slow, there is some bootnets or something like that, and your network is not secure, is not safe, there's no firewalls, there's nothing, then you're really exposed. And if you're dealing with some serious data, then there you have it. Same thing too with benefits. If you get audited, it's a big deal, especially now with HIPAA. So we'll just go to, I guess here's just like more benefits, right? I guess a little typo here. More benefits.
IT is our arena, not right.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things too that we've been doing, lately is helping customers shift to the cloud. So we all hear about this whole cloud thing. Cloud. What is a cloud? So, So that one thing that we do, there's a lot of applications that live in the cloud now. So for instance, your mailing services, it's all like an Office or, Google Apps, data management, cloud servers and hosted desktop. So we can instead of buying a server, we can actually fire up a server up on the cloud and have it running for you. Same thing with VoIP. Instead of using the traditional VoIP, you use voice via internet protocol that helps, and it helps with a lot with costs and everything like that. I guess I have more other benefits here, which is rapid access to missing capabilities and skills. Booyah, this is good.
That's one to touch on, because we say, we're great for small and medium-sized businesses, and we've seen a few companies out there that have had in the past full-time IT staff, and they're looking to fill holes with that. And we've worked with those staff, and it's been a great model. But you have to consider, what they're paying for a full-time IT person, and what capabilities they can get for that dollar. The average IT person in Reno, for your like a small medium-sized business, probably looking at between 40 and 60K a year in salary. That doesn't count benefits, doesn't count workman's comp, anything like that. It's just salary. And so, you get rapid access to those missing capabilities and skills with us because we've got a wide range, and we have partners that can step in if something's outside of our scope. And you're not paying anything extra for that. Whereas if you hire Joe Schmo off the street, you're only getting what he has available. And that person may be a wonderful learner. They may be one of the world's fastest learners, but nothing can provide you with that right now if they don't already have those skills.
Oh yeah, spot on. And that's something that people need to be familiar with. And as an IT company, we made a lot of partnerships and a lot of connections in the field. So if we can't help you, we definitely, from in our circle, we'll find help for you. And the same thing that Eduardo touched on, you're literally getting the entire company serving you for a fraction of what you will pay somebody full time, who probably will just hang out there, not being busy really. I mean, I've seen that. I was in the IT space before. You do work a little bit and you just hang out for a while. This lots of productivity right there.
Or even worse, they have multiple hats they have to wear within the organization, which means that when it comes time to actually needing to perform, disaster recovery, they can't be performing their other job, or they're performing another job and they can't perform their preventative maintenance. So the smaller the company, hiring an IT person full time, usually they have to justify it by wearing multiple hats, and that makes things very difficult for the candidate as well as for the company itself in the long run.
Yep, very true, and that's something we've seen, we experienced ourselves. So yeah,
been there, done that, bought the T-shirt.
Yep, no, totally, same here. Same thing here too. With benefit to your organization is 24/7 monitoring and alerting. So those, as long as your machines are on, we have monitoring and checks in place that's going to identify the issues faster before it even happens. If your hard drive is running low, our monitoring agents will tell us, hey, we'll get an alert that tells us, hey, this thing is actually low on space. You might want to either delete some data of it or upgrade that. Same thing with antivirus, or if there's a new patch or any of that. So there's a lot of those things that those monitoring checks that's super, super helpful. Rapid resolution of problem prevention. This is, if you listen to what we tell you and we tighten the system and standardize it with whatever standards we have in place that's proprietary to us, we definitely minimize the risk to just a user error, not a system error, because we literally leverage every single tool we have and leverage all the expertise, and then we map up the entire system, tighten things up, do backups, do checks, and then at the end of the day, unless it's a hardware failure or somebody just grabbed the hammer and just start hitting the crap out of these machines, then that's probably the issue. But other than that, we're pretty confident with our capabilities and expertise to tighten up the systems and use the best IT practices to keep things up to date. So same thing here. We provide reporting, which keeps everything up to date, transparency. There's no black box, which is something we don't believe in. Building the company, never been fan of the black box model. So I'll tell you what's in that black box. We tell you exactly what it is. We give you your passwords. We give you your network topography. So if you decide to fire us, not a problem. We're not going to hold that as a hostage just because.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's something that
something we've run into quite often.
God, yes. And that's something like we're definitely going to have a hangouts on, which is talking about what do you do post before you get rid of the IT person that has the keys to your kingdom, or the other IT company that's not performing to your performance or to your standard. So definitely it's something I would do. I think we touched on this before. So what helps us to stay on top of it is enterprise level tools that we pay for. We pay a lot of money for these tools: asset management, alerting, reporting, proactive maintenance, antivirus, malware, yada, yada. I mean, the entire thing is expensive, yet super effective. In-house help desk, we have fully staffed help desk with their experts, and then we have visibility to the entire chain from the tickets creation all the way to the resolution. And then we got an account manager and a project manager that helps keeping everything under control, keeping the projects running if we do some other projects, because we do email migration projects, SharePoint migrations, and virtualization, you name it. So for that, we need definitely a project and account manager in that space. So here, I think we're going back again to the same stuff. I think this slide should be way up there, but maybe just a recap. Cost, flat monthly cost. I think I talked about it. Less expensive than hiring an IT person. We help you make better decisions when it comes to purchasing, because we have network. We're partners with Dell, HP, all these vendors that we could actually get better pricing and help you make a good, wise decision to what one thing that we run into is, for instance, like one of the things that people don't listen to. So they go in, for instance, when it comes to Office, right? I think Eduardo and we talked about this. Somebody will go in, walk into Best Buy, get one of those licenses for Office, install them for 4 or 5 machines, go to another one, install the same Office. We're talking Office 365 for email, right? And then they go in and things don't work their way. Well, as an expert, we'll say, hey, you're a company. Don't go to Best Buy. Let us run that for you. We go in. We're a Microsoft partner. We go in there. We purchase the seats for you. We just call them seats or email boxes. We set them up for you, and they're under one umbrella, one company, instead of going and doing this. I mean, you've seen this quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Dealing with that. Dealing with that recently.
Yeah,
another one that happens often is somebody will go and they'll buy the home version of Office, and that's a licensing nightmare waiting to happen.
Yeah. So it's definitely something that I hate as well. We don't like that. So if that's if you're very conscious of cost, it's the same thing. It'll end up costing you more, and that's not a good thing.
You may save money in the short term, but in the long term, you could lose your business.
Oh, tons.
Because that's how steep those lines can be.
Yeah. And we're not exaggerating, you guys. Like, this is truly a risk you're run into. There's an account right now that's shut down for Office. There's this company, they cannot use the Office because it's under multiple users, multiple umbrellas, and now it's like the entire site is down. They cannot email. Guess what? We all live in our emails right now, and if we can't send emails, there's no business. We have a variety of access to partners and programs and vendors and the whole 9 yards. So we went and made partnerships with people, companies in the cloud. I mean, Rackspace, Microsoft, Google, Switch, which is the Supermap. We're working on this right now. So it's pretty awesome. And then same thing with backup solutions and things like that. So we have a wide variety of partners and vendors that we work with that we have access to, and we access to the latest pricing sheets and technology and things like that. So we go and evangelize that and share with our customers. And then last but not least, overall, so we just kind of more of a recap: reduce your IT costs, reduce your unexpected downtime, extend the life of your assets, improve your system security and compliance, plan, budget, track more accurately, be empowered to make proactive instead of reactive choices, which is something that we are trying to do or trying to preach for a very long time now.
Yeah, one of the things that these slides didn't cover is you used the term break fix earlier on.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that most people realize that the most common, at least here in Reno, contract for IT services is break fix, which simply means that something breaks, then you call the IT person, they schedule to come in, then they fix it. If that's the model that you're working on currently, downtime is guaranteed, because you don't know that there's a problem typically until the break occurs, whether it's a software, hardware, user error, virus, malware, whatever. You don't know that there's a problem until there's a problem. So the IT person doesn't know until you let them know that there's a problem. So if they have to wait and it takes you, an hour from the time that you recognize there's a problem, do whatever you think is possible to fix it yourself, and then call the IT person, well, there's no guarantee that they can drop everything, that they're doing right then and there to get to you, because chances are they also have other clients. So you're looking at a minimum of an hour downtime right there, plus whatever it takes to get it fixed. With our model, what we can do is we can monitor those things and get ideas about when things are going to occur. It's not a crystal ball. We can't peer into it and go, oh, you're going to have a hard drive failure on April 16th, 2016. So that gives us 3 days to get that hard drive for you. It doesn't work that way. But we can see, okay, we've got, the last time we ran a fix on the drive, the check disk, it came up with some missing corrupt or bad sectors in there. That tells us if that happens more than once, there's a problem. We need to start preparing, for the worst. So we can say, okay, we know what we need to do. We can then say, okay, well, are you in warranty? Because if you're in warranty, then depending on how good your warranty is, we can just get that stuff started before the problem occurs. If you're not in warranty, well, then we can decide to go out and buy that drive and replace it before it's bad, before you've lost all this data. And if it does crash, before we can do something about it, we've got the backup already taken care of for you. So all the downtime is it takes to get the information off the cloud to put it back on your system. Your break fix guy can do that also, but you've got to add in all that time leading up to the point where they can show up. And so our goal is to minimize that downtime, which isn't something that a break fix contract can typically do.
Yeah, and then that's one thing too, is as a managed IT service provider, we're really trying not to do break fix, because at the end of the day, it puts too much pressure on us. We have to resolve that quickly. It puts too much, an issue is not going to be fixed in an hour or two. It's going to take longer than that. Then we're talking about a lot of money, a lot of costs. And then when companies get the bill, they're like, well, what happened here? Well, this is what happened. We're not joking here. We really had to spend this much time and much expertise to do it. So therefore, that model, we don't encourage it. We do not want to work with it. I mean, there are only select people that we work with. And here, not to sound very arrogant or anything like that, but we just definitely don't want to work with people. Because at the end of the day, with people who wants to go take that break fix approach, because just we're not interested. We have other clients that we're serving that are under contract with us that take priority. So we're not dropping everything to go help that. Yeah, I mean, it sucks to go to be out but if you're not willing to join up our program, that's going to prevent that from happening. We really do not feel like it's the best way, because we're going to encourage you to keep doing that. And for us, it puts too much pressure on us to fix it, to dedicate a resource to you to fix your issues. And then when it comes to cost, it's going to be pretty significant. Therefore, we definitely do not encourage that. So we're encouraging you guys to start looking at the managed IT service model, because it's really, really powerful. And like we said, it's a fixed cost.
Exactly. And another thing to consider there is that, by going with this break fix, you're really just setting yourself up for failure, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And so when it occurs, not only is it stress for the IT person that's performing the break fix, but it's stress for you. It's stress for your employees. It's stress for everybody there, because if a critical system goes down and you can't perform your business, it's frustrating. And if it takes too long in your eyes, because I don't know how long the mechanic's going to take to fix my car, because I'm not a mechanic, and I'm sure we've all been there. We take our car in and you get a big bill because it took 5 hours to do something that doesn't seem like it should take 5 hours, but I'm not a mechanic. I don't know what they had to do to get to the heater core, for instance, but it's setting up yourself up for that frustration. And that's a relationship we don't want. We want to make sure that we have happy customers, happy clients, and we can't catch 100% of the problems. And anybody who claims they can, they need to be picking lottery numbers and not this, not doing IT, because it's not possible. Things occur.
And it happened in the worst time too.
Yeah. And so, but we can try to mitigate those things, and we can catch a lot of things before they happen, and try to prevent that frustration from occurring, or at the very least minimize it.
Yeah. Super true. And then same thing too here. This is not for just the people that we work here locally, but even with, I just want to mention that we work with companies across the entire place. So we do a lot of work with, right now we have clients in North Carolina, South, Missouri area, California, the entire 9 yards. So we support clients across the entire area. So this is something that I just want to make sure that you guys understood. So we're not just strictly in the Reno, Nevada area, we have clients all over. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Go. So should we wrap this up?
I think this is good, man.
Hey, awesome. Well, hey guys, thank you so much for joining up with this hangout. We'll have more for you here in the future. We're going to talk. So this one was just more of trying to talk about the key benefits of managed IT services and kind of shed some lights in around the value of it and why is it so important for your growth of your business, so you can focus on your business while let us do the groundwork when it comes to the IT and the technology, because I know it's frustrating. I know it's the black box. I know it's the backbone of every business, yet it takes the least attention, which is super interesting. So until then, we'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you have questions or concerns, you can reach us at info@nevadaitsolutions.com. You can also check out our website at www.nevadaitsolutions.com. Thank you.
Perfect. Yep. Take care, guys.